to move for leave to introduce the public examinations bracket prevention of unfair means amendment bill 2026 to amend the public examination prevention of unfair means bill 2024. Thank you, Speaker sir.
Viewers, imagine this: over 1 million students sit down for one of the biggest recruitment or entrance exams of their lives. Months of preparation, sleepless nights, family savings poured into coaching classes, and then the exam is cancelled, not because of a technical glitch, but because the question paper had leaked. It was sold on encrypted channels before a single student even entered the hall. This isn't hypothetical, it's actually happened again and again in India over the last few years. You are watching NewsX Deep Dive and I am Devika Devan. Today we're diving into the law built specifically to stop these paper leaks, the Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Act. Why it was created, what it actually punishes, and why right now the government is moving to make it even tougher. To understand why this law exists, you have to understand the scale of the crisis it was responding to. For years, India's competitive examination ecosystem, banking exams, railway recruitments, medical and university entrance tests had no single central law targeting organized exam fraud. Cheating could sometimes be prosecuted under general provisions of the law, but there was nothing built specifically for question paper leaks, impersonation rackets, or the tech-enabled cheating syndicates that had grown increasingly sophisticated. And the consequences of that gap were showing up constantly. State after state saw exams cancelled: Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand, each with its own local law trying to fix the problem, but with no consistent national framework. So what does the law actually cover? It applies to public examinations conducted by the central government and its agencies like the UPSC, SSC, the National Testing Agency, railway recruitment boards, and banking recruitment exams, plus any other exam the central government chooses to notify under the Act. And it defines a genuinely wide net of offences. We're talking about leaking question papers before an exam, tampering with OMR answer sheets, setting up fake examination websites, issuing counterfeit admit cards, impersonation, organized cheating rings, and unauthorized access to confidential exam systems. Basically, any coordinated effort to manipulate an exam's outcome. Crucially, the law doesn't just go after the person who physically leaked the paper. It's built to reach the entire supply chain of exam fraud, the organizers, the technology providers who enable it, the middlemen, and any institution that knowingly plays a role. The Act also builds in preventive infrastructure, not just punishment after the fact. It mandates security protocols across the whole examination life cycle, pre-audits of exam centers, biometric verification of candidates, secure custody and transport of question papers, CCTV monitoring, and post-exam audits. The new amendments expand the meaning of unfair means to include modern reforms of cheating. These include AI-assisted cheating hacks, examination systems, sharing question papers digitally, changing exam systems electronically, and other cyber-related exam fraud. Investigations into offences under the Act must be completed within 2 months to prevent procedural delays. The centre has just designated a special fast-track court at Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court Complex specifically to speed up trials of paper leak cases under this Act. The Cabinet has separately approved a set of amendments that would meaningfully sharpen the law's teeth. The minimum punishment for paper leak offences will rise from 3 years to 5 years. The maximum prison term could climb to 10 years and the maximum fine would jump dramatically up to 10 crore rupees. The 2024 bill stipulated an investigation by federal agencies. In the new bill, the centre retains the authority to constitute a dedicated special task force to handle high-stakes or cross-state examination fraud. Along with the proposed law, the centre has formed a high-level task force led by Infosys co-founder Nandan Nilekani. The group will suggest technology-based improvements for NTA. Meanwhile, in the Parliament, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju urged opposition to discuss the anti-paper leak bill. Both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha have been adjourned for the day, and the discussion regarding the bill would resume tomorrow. Have a look.
मेंबर तैयारी के साथ आए हैं और अपोजिशन के भी कई मेंबर्स ने अमेंडमेंट दिए हैं, वो भी तैयारी करके आए हैं। बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण बच्चों के लिए, युवाओं के लिए, छात्रों का जिंदगी के लिए ये महत्वपूर्ण बिल है। सब बोलने वाले वक्ता भी तैयार है, फिर भी जानबूझ करके कांग्रेस पार्टी और उसके कुछ साथी जानबूझ करके आज इतना महत्वपूर्ण बिल पे चर्चा होने नहीं दे रहे हैं। मैं बहुत दुखी मन के साथ कह रहा हूँ। पहले दिन तो वो कह रहे थे कि चर्चा करना चाहिए, एग्जाम का मामला है, बच्चों का मामला है। अब जब चर्चा करने के लिए इतना महत्वपूर्ण बिल लेकर के जब आया है, टाइम भी दे चुके हैं 6 घंटे स्पीकर साहब ने, और टाइम देंगे, आप चाहते तो और टाइम देंगे, फिर भी ये कर रहे हैं, ये अच्छा नहीं लग रहे हैं। मैं कांग्रेस के साथियों को कहना चाहता हूँ, ऐसा काम मत कीजिए। जो आपका जो इमेज है बहुत गिर चुका है और बहुत बदनाम होने वाला काम।
Viewers, this isn't just a legal footnote, it's something much bigger. In India, a government exam isn't just a test for a huge number of families, especially outside the big cities. It's the single most realistic path to social equality. A government job, a medical degree, a place at a top university. When a paper leaks, it's not an abstract institutional failure. It's thousands of hours of genuine, honest preparation that gets erased by someone else's shortcut. The proposed changes come after one of the biggest student-led protest movements in recent years. Whether the tougher amendments actually solve the problem is a separate question from whether they exist. Harsher laws only work if enforcement, forensic investigation, and internal exam security genuinely improve along with them. I'm going to take this conversation forward with Dr. Dhruv Kumar Agarwal, Pro Vice Chancellor. Vineet Jindal, advocate, also with us is Satyajit Datta. Let me begin with Dr. Dhruv Kumar Agarwal. Dr. Agarwal, as an educationist, what do you make of the new bill?
Yeah, this proposed bill has harsher punishment to the individual and organized crime, as already told by you. But my view is that there should be digital question paper distribution so that long-term distance physical transportation should be avoided, encrypted paper so that there should be, this should be encrypted and within 30 to 60 minutes before the time of the paper. Multi-factor authentication, these basically only in this bill the penalties has been increased, as punishment are there and for all the activities before, during, after paper leaks, OMR sheets, admit card, and other manipulations. But real measures required are like in other countries and even here also CA examination and other examinations, the multiple question paper set should be designed, which random paper should be assigned. There should be independent security checks, continuous monitoring, strict access law, and there should be the part of the paper should be set by, there should not be complete control of the paper to a single individual. There should be part, or there should be certain questions should be framed by certain persons, some parts with other officers, which creates accountability and also which will prevent this leakage. There should be provision in the bill for use of the AI and data analytics to detect unusual score pattern, coordinated cheatings, suspicious answer similarities, and abnormal success rates of a particular centers. Strong vendor regulation, strict check and
Yes.
regulations. These all should be ensured in the bill. Their penalty is basically post-mortem analysis. That is just like an audit. Whatever has been done wrong, only then we can impose penalty, but as you say, prevention is better than cure. So there should be, system should be tightened, and these all had with the latest technology. When Indians IT sector is holding all key positions world over, and even the very CIA and
Yes.
White House is having the control in the hand of the Indians. Why the Indians cannot control this paper leak?
Okay, all right. Let me, sir, on that note, bring in Advocate Vineet Jindal as well into the conversation. Advocate Jindal, your thoughts on some of the steps that have been now taken by the government. How enforceable do you think this will all be as far as a law and order perspective is concerned?
Look, there are several issues with the new proposed bill. I think this is a good bill and there's no issue about it. But problem here is the infrastructure with the courts. The problem here is with the judges, number of the judges. We are talking about speedy trial, but when we already been, no, there are several acts which has already been taken, talking about the speedy justice and speedy trial like POXCO and other offences which are specific act has been created. But even in that courts, the justice has not been given in a no time-bound manner. 6 months, 3 months time schedule is not been followed by the court because of the overburdened courts. So less judges is also a very big question here. If something write down in a paper, it doesn't mean that it will be implemented on a grassroots level. So I think there must be some kind of another step would be to initiate and designated apart from the speedy trial courts. There are new judges appointments would be there. And in respect of technology, as this new act is talking about the technological unfair means which is which is used nowadays for cheating purpose. So I think the technology is also a very big hurdle to understand during the trial. So as we have already been seen that BNS and BSSN is talking about electronic digitalization and in an electronic investigation. So in the same manner, there would be some kind of trial and some kind of the classes would be given to the officials of investigation agencies, especially for this purpose only. Otherwise, the whole purpose has been defeated if we are talking about especially for the trial. And as you have already been told that punishment has been increased, definitely it has been increased, but all the purposes has been defeated unless until the justice should be given in an appropriate manner and time-bound manner. So I think there is a very big problem with this act of implementation of this act is how it will be implemented and how the courts, the speedy justice could be given.
All right, Satyajit Datta, I leave the last word with you. Your perspective and your suggestions going forward to the government as well on this bill, which will be discussed in Parliament, hopefully, effectively. And now that we have the ear of the members of Parliament, of our lawmakers after this entire movement and this entire protest, hopefully they will take in the suggestions of educationists and other people who are all stakeholders in this entire system.
Hey, good evening, Devika, and good evening, my fellow speakers. I would say that I definitely welcome the introduction of this amendment bill, as we all have discussed. And we all appreciate and understand that a paper leak is not merely an examination irregularity. It is basically an organized, crime. It is an organized attack on merit. And whatever we have proposed in terms of higher penalties, time-bound investigations, dedicated fast-track courts have been, all this that we have laid down in this amendment bill, that definitely sends out an important message that examination fraud will be treated as a serious organized crime. But when we say this, we need to remember that punishment operates after the system has been breached. So along with these deterrents that we are creating, which is required, India now needs a prevention-oriented examination architecture. We must reduce the number of people who can access confidential material, minimize physical movement of question papers, introduce encrypted and just-in-time delivery, create tamper-evident audit trails, and conduct high-stake examinations through professionally managed, I would say, accredited centers and secure infrastructure. And I would again come back to my same, suggestion that we now need to move towards permanent CBT infrastructure for conducting, or permanent examination infrastructure to conducting these high-stake examinations. We have to move away as a country from these temporary, multi-purpose and inconsistent controlled venues. And we have to move towards a standalone, secure, dedicated digital examination centers in our country.
Right, absolutely. Let me then bring back Dr. Dhruv Kumar Agarwal once again. Dr. Agarwal, your last thoughts and suggestions to the government and to our lawmakers as they hopefully will begin discussing this bill tomorrow in Parliament.
My suggestion is that need institutional accountability and individual accountability, though government has set up in 2018 the NTA, but NTAs, there should be all accountability of all the officers of the, not only the NTA, all the vendors, all the persons who are involved in the examination process, and there should be rotation of the persons regularly in this system, so that and there should be, the paper should be like code word. It should not be disclosed on the paper. It is of neat paper. There should be some code number which is only available before 15 minutes of the examination to all the centers, so that we have seen the paper in the Institute of the Chartered Accountant, which running from the day of independence, and here nobody can know this paper is of which subject, which institute, because in that paper there is no mention of anything about the subject, only one code number, and that code number is delivered only just 10 minutes before starting of the paper, and that number is displayed that kindly check your question paper whether it consists of this code number. So these type of the measures must be taken, and otherwise it should be fully computerized. Now various examination of the NP and various examination of the entrance is only computerized system, but only I will say there should be accountability, rotation of the duties of the officers on the regular interval, and there should be part of the paper is accessible to one of the officers. The
Yes.
whole paper should not be accessible to any person before the student get it.
Okay.
Only then it can be assured, and this policy is followed in various countries also, where the examination paper goes to any officer only after comes to the hand of the student.
Right,
So
absolutely.
because here central examination consists of around 30 to 40 million, 2.3 million appear for this NEET, and for other 16 million
Yes, yes, Dr. Agarwal, thank you so much for that perspective. Thank you to Vineet Jindal and Satyajit Datta as well. I've run out of time, but I thank all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast to take this conversation forward. We sip into a very short break.
बेसिक शिक्षा को नए पंख देने वाला